That's what Way ahead of last night's pace, and only running an hour and 15. We've got umpires for this game, so let's start. We changed the last night. So it's out like right side. Christian Charg versus second game of the season. Just a fair warning for this game. Very effective. I'm not going to actually keep baseball games because I'm watching Hawkeyes. Luckily for you guys, it's going to have to start this game, so I'll be locked in for this next 12 minutes. Then it's going to be very spotty from that zone. Not a lot of lineup changes from last night. Looks like probably take comment. Sam, Harry Nichols back in the spot, followed by Joe Grant, Abbott Muller, set, one change, Maddox Munson, CH in this lead spot, followed by Nichols. Jake Humble is on the mound here for game 2. Hopefully we'll get started here in the next 5 minutes. So I will be back here in the field here in Rapid City for Sioux Falls Christian Chargers and Fouche.
Alright, let's go Chargers. Ready, let's go. Drive that ball.
This fastball, locked up, center fielder is under him. Right is which is retired. It's going to bring that team on. Fastball right there.
Connect. I mean, that's
Ball misses high. Gets hit again. So for the second straight, Tate is on in the first, but he's real. He's a football player, but he's in some pain right now. He's going to take a walk out of the first.
Go, Pete. Whack it.
Tate led the team in get by pitches last year. He's off to a record pace this year. Well, that's going to bring up Sam. I'm pretty sure Tate will play this get by pitch to actually 90 feet. It's straight on the outside. Runs through the bag. He was tagged out trying to get back. He was originally safe. He slides. He was safe by one. Alright, well, it's 0-2 here to Pete. That is fouled out play. Down towards the team bus. He calls time. It's granted by the umpire.
All right, Pete, drive it.
So 1-2 here, Pete. That ball misses high. Misses the catcher. Barry Nichols going to get some cardio in right after that ball. He's worked into a 2-2 count here. You can see the scoreboard. There is 2 outs, not 1. Another ball that misses high outside. He's worked the count full here. And the aforementioned Barry Nichols is on that. Just pops sky high. Third baseman coming in. Reaches up and makes the grab. Chargers in the first. No runs, no hits, nobody left. And with that team bottom of the first inning, and Julie Cumble going to make his season debut. Jake Kumpel on the mound here. Going back doing the catching. Infield same as yesterday. We're set at third. Brooks at short. Will at second. And Sam at first. And outfield working left to right. Adam Taylor left. Tate is in center. And Nichols out in right.
I can't help you.
Oh, this is low. Bounces at the golf point.
I just started to do what he said. You'll be good not by the gas. Yep. Right, that's sometimes what he said.
Ooh, looks good, Jake.
Almost missed. Outside.
Alright, Jake, let's go.
Sure, this too, I guess. Jake all around the zone.
Yes, you can still.
3-1 now. Nice foul into our dugout. It's a full count here. That's going to bring up the number 1 for the Broncos.
Well, they go to Shannon. Here we go, Chargers!
So Peyton, it says Peyton step in, play the good in front of that. Maybe looking at the bar.
There you go. Woo!
And this is low. Batter tried to call time, but he's not bringing it down. Jake was already in his lead. Back in the second half. That'll be Ivy Illinois.
He doesn't do that.
2-2, and yes, he did. Tried to make a swing, he went around.
I think they're
He strike out for. Alright, well, let's see if that works. Here's the old one. Foul ball.
And I've just jokingly said it. Or something like that. So my bias and it's all
That's 1-2.
but I think
Hey, way to go, Jake! Test 1-2. Test 1-2.
I got a duck right now,
Test 1-2. Test 1-2. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
We got 2 outs. I'm not real sure how we got 2 outs. I'll give him a strikeout. Runner on second. Dealing with some technical difficulties as that ball misses inside. Shit. All right, Jake has went 3-0 here to number 12 for Fouche. In there for strike on the outside part of the plate. Runner gets his lead at second. Jake rocks and fires, and apparently that was not good enough on the outside part of the plate. Ball hops away from Dylan's glove, but it's called strike one to number 23. As my Hawkeyes are down 1 here
And now they're up 2. So that's great. Here's the 0-1 from Jake. Swing and a miss. And Jake a strike away from getting out of a jam here. Runner goes, throw down, and he is out. It's a good throw by Dylan, and the runner is caught stealing. So great throw by Dylan, great grab by Hayden, and that retires the side. So 1 runner left, no hits, a couple of walks, and we'll head to the top of the second with Harry Nichols leading off. All right, Harry Nichols going to step in here to lead off for your Chargers here in the second. Your Chargers in white with blue trim. Broncos in gray pants and purple shirts. Harry gets a round on one. And if he's a little bit later, that is a shot. Otherwise, that is just a long foul for Harry Nichols. Curveball misses high. Evens the count at 1-1. Ball bounces in there for ball 2. That ball sails high up at Harry's eyes, and Harry's ahead here 3-1. And Harry takes a swing at that, and then it's fouled back and out of play. And it's going to run the count full. There's a line drive. That's going to fall in front of left fielder. And that is going to be a leadoff single for Harry Nichols.
All right, keep it going.
It's going to bring up DK.
Drive it.
Abbott Moeller in the on-deck circle. Let's see how aggressive Coach Gorset's going to be on the base paths. Big swing and a miss from Dylan. short lead for Harry at first. Dylan in 0-1 hole. And that misses high and inside. Evens the count at 1-1.
All right, 1-2. Give it a ride.
So for those of you that are just watching and listening to this broadcast, which makes perfect sense, my Hawkeyes are down by 1 with about 15 to play in the Elite Eight, with a trip to the Final Four on the line, as Dylan looks at strike 2. Oh, Harry was leaning, and he is back in there safe. That was a good move by the pitcher. I'm not sure if Harry was called safe. I don't know if he was back in there, though. Awful close play at first. He had him leaning towards second. Ball misses high. Evens the count at 2-2. And that is called strike 3 as that curveball breaks over the outside part of the plate. And that is going to be first out of the second inning. That is going to bring up Abbott Moeller. Harrison Nichols going. There's the throw down by the catcher. And Harry's in there safe. So that ball bounced just a little bit short of second base. And by the time he could reach back and try and make a tag, Harry was already standing on second. So runner in scoring position here for Abbott. That is fouled down the right field line and out of play. And now it's kicked off the fence and is now in play. So Bella Fouche player going to hustle down and grab that. All right, 1-1 here to Abbott. Harry with a big lead down at second. Abbott, check, swing, called strike 2 on that. Tried to hold up his swing on that curveball, and I'm not sure if he called a strike on a swing or if it caught part of the plate. There's a ground ball right at the shortstop, and Abbott is out at first but gets the runner over to third. So Harry moves up 90 feet on a ground ball to short. And that's going to bring up Hayden Gorsett with an RBI opportunity, but there are 2 outs. Ball misses high and outside to Hayden, who's batting in the left-handed batter's box. Ball misses outside. So 2-0. Maddox Munson on deck. Big swing and a miss. There we go. There's a big 3-ball for the Hawks to take the lead. Ball misses inside, so Hayden's worked it to 3-1. It's fouled down the left field line. Going over is the third baseman, and he overran the ball as that hits behind where he just ran. And Hayden is going to stay alive here. It is going to be a full count. Runner on third 2 outs here in the top of the third.
You got him on board? You got it?
So here's the payoff pitch to Hayden. And that is a curveball over the heart of the plate, and Hayden is going to be down on strikes. And we'll head to the bottom of the second. Score 0-0. And also tied in the Iowa-Illinois game at 43. With about 12:42 to play. Looks like Bennett Sturtz is at the line and gave the Hawkeyes a 1-point lead by making a second free throw. We will be back. All right, 23 set to lead off here for the Broncos in the bottom of the second inning. Jake Humple back on the mound. And takes strike one from Jake. Oh, and that curveball breaks in there for strike two. And that's a good pitch there from Jake. Working ahead here in this inning. Quickly ahead 0-2. And 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and 1 out for Jake Humple. Number 8's going to step in here for Bella Fouche. As Illinois and Iowa will head to the under 12-minute timeout, tied at 46. And Jake, that is going to get barely backing out of play. No play made by the fans back here. So that ball misses the plate and Dylan's glove. And that's going to even the count at 1-1. Guys fouled another one back and out of play. Jake ahead here 1-2. Curveball misses high. Evens the count at 2-2 here. There's a ground ball in the hole, and that's going to be between Hayden and Brooks. And that is going to get by Abbott Moeller, and that is going to go all the way to the fence. And that is going to be a single and an error. As that ball just rolled under Abbott's glove. So that's going to be one out. Runner on third, and that is the first hit of the ball game for either team. So Jake is going to have to keep that ball up and out of the dirt. Dylan's going to have to do a good job of keeping that ball in front of him, as that ball misses low to number 7 for the Broncos. Another ball misses low. So Jake behind here, 2-0 after a one-out single. That is fouled and out of play. Jake didn't like that ball, so he threw it back in. So we got a 2-1 count here. And that is painted for strike 2. Jake could really use a strikeout here with a runner on third.
Get it now, Jake. You got it.
Here's the 2-2. It is a slow roller. Dylan calls off, throws down, and gets him by a step. That's a great job by Pete and Dylan, and they held the runner at third. That is just really good communication by Dylan, calling off Jake there, and a good stretch by Pete to get the runner. So 2 out now, runner on third. Lefty's going to step in for the Broncos and looks at a ball, call it outside. Big swing and a miss, as he couldn't catch up with that high heat. Here's the 1-1. Ball misses outside. As the Hawkeyes have battled back, take the lead by 1. As Sturts has 22 already with about 9 minutes to play. Big cut. Throws a strike here, should be able to get. Ooh, misses low and inside, and that's going to run the count full here.
Got 32.
Here's the payoff pitch from Jake. Half back at the fence, and we're going to do it again. Another foul ball back at us. 2-out walk. So Fouche is going to have runners on the corners here. There is a fastball strike one.
On their website, they have. Have you ever been running somewhere? No. I haven't either.
Strike 2 for Jake. One more of those should bring us out of this inning. He's just like anything in front of him that's in the dirt. Here's the other 2.
No, I don't.
There's a fastball, and there's going to be the 3rd strike as Jake Humble gets out of that inning unscathed. So the Broncos leave 2 on 1 hit. We'll head to the top of the 3rd. Score still 0-0. The score in the game also matters. The Buckeyes lead 49-48 with about 8 minutes to go here. All right, leading off here in the top of the 3rd. For your charges, Maddox Munson, followed by Will, and then the top of the order with Will Clapp, all due up. All right. 31 is going to step in for his first at bat of the year. Ball misses out. He looked like he wanted to ring him up for a strike, but then changed his mind to call it a ball. That is fouled out of play. Maddox was just a little late on that one. There's a check roller to the first baseman. Pitcher gets over, and Maddox is out at first as the first baseman flips over the pitcher, who just in time to cover on a checked swing roller, and Maddox is retired. So that'll bring up Will here. Ball misses high. Chargers looking to get something going. Have not had a hit after pounding out a bunch of hits yesterday. They've had a couple men on via the walk. And Will is ahead here 2-0. Ball in there for a strike. So here's the 2-1 to Will. And swings over top of that curveball to even the count at 2-2. Ball misses high. So Will works the count full. Another ball. That's a good at bat by Will, being patient. And he draws a 1-out walk. And that'll bring up Brooks here for his second at bat of the game. Ball misses inside. Well, throw over. Hits Will, gets away. And that ball rolls into the dugout so he can stand up at second base. As that ball thrown over to first, bounced to the first baseman, bounced over his glove and rolled into the Fouche dugout. So 1 out now. Runner now in scoring position. And Brooks looks at that curveball for strike 1. Coach Gorsett asking for a count check. Big lead for Will at second. There's a ground ball. That's going to be under the good glove by the shortstop as Will rounds third and gets back safely. That was a nice rangy play by the shortstop as he came behind the bag to make that play and got Speedy Brooks clap by a step. Well, that's going to bring up our wounded warrior here in Tate Connell, who's looking for a hit and not to get hit. And that ball misses high and outside. That ball sails to the backstop, and that is going to bring in the first run of the game. And that is a good way to manufacture first run of the game. Walk, air, ground ball to advance the runner 90 feet, and then a pass ball. So your Chargers are going to take the lead 1-0, and Tate looks at ball 3 that sails high. Well, and my Hawkeyes are struggling. Down 5 here with about 5:41 to play. And Tate almost got hit again as he ducks out of the way of that one, and he is going to be on base for the second time today via the walk. So Pete's going to step in. Sioux Falls Christian still looking for their first hit of this game. And Pete looks at a fastball on the outside part of the plate. A lot of pitches being thrown here on both sides through 2 2/3 innings here. Tate goes, ball way outside, throw down to the second baseman, and Tate is going to be in there safe with a stolen base, and I believe that was a ball. So another runner in scoring position after a stolen base. by Tate Connell. And Pete misses. That ball misses high. So Pete ahead here, 2-1. Pete looking for an RBI, and that ball misses way outside. So 3-1 the count here with Harry Nichols on deck. There's a line drive, and that's going to get foul. And that's going to run the count here full. So Tate will be off here with the pitch. And Pete's going to get hit. Well, going to have runners on first and second, and freshman Harry Nichols going to step in here with an RBI opportunity. Ball misses high to Harry. Harry can find a way on. DK is in the on-deck circle. Curveball misses inside. It's a good eye by Harry.
Drive it.
So 2-0 here. Oh, big swing from Harry. He was trying to put that about 400 feet out to right center. It's a curveball, and it is popped sky high to the second baseman underneath it, and he makes the catch. And that'll do it for your Chargers in the third. They get a run on no hits, 2 walks, and a hit batsman. They leave 2, and we'll head to the bottom half of the third. With your Chargers leading 1-0, and my Hawkeyes trailing by 5 with about the 5-minute mark to go in the game. All right, Jake out for his 3rd inning of work. Lefty going to step in here for Fouche to lead off the 3rd. Jake pumps a strike in there. And my Hawkeyes are kind of falling apart. There's a popped over the head and stretch and reach by Pete. That's a good job by Will. Good job by Pete. As that ball was popped over the head of Jake. Will ranging towards second base, makes a nice play. And good stretch there by Pete to get the first out of the inning. Number 1's going to step in here for the Broncos. And Jake punts a strike in there on his 50th pitch of the game. Ball misses high to even the count at 1-1. I just got crop dusted by a 5-year-old. as number 1 swings through that. Yeah, that was the first time that's happened. Somebody with a ring pop in their mouth and crop dust me and just turns at me and smiles. That's going to be a strikeout for Jake. And that is going to be out number 2.
Keep going, Chargers!
Oh, good times. Good times out here at the field. Do appreciate Coach Steve letting me borrow his phone so I can watch the game and broadcast the game at the same time. And that's a curveball in there for strike 1 to number 19 for the Broncos. There's a slow roller, Hayden, and that's going to hit off the heel of his glove, and number 19 is going to be safe. As Hayden was ranging towards shortstop, and that just hit the heel of his glove and rolled away, and that is going to be an error. Still 2 outs, though. As number 12 will step in. Ball misses outside. Short lead down at first for the runner. Jake throw over. Runner back easily. There's a slow roller, and that's going to be in between the pitcher and Hayden. Hayden rocks and fires. That's a great stop by Pete, as that was sailing over his head, and that is going to be an infield single, because that was a very slow roller. Hayden didn't have much of a chance on that. I think Coach Gorset's asking if that hit off the runner's foot. Thinking it did. If it would be a foul ball, but and umpire's going to rule that hey, it was a fair ball. So runners on first and second. So Jake, who's had to work out of a jam just about every inning so far, is going to have to work out of another one here with 2 out. Curveball misses outside. Oof, as my Hawkeyes are down 7 with about 3:15 to play. And here's the 1-0 from Jake. That is line. That's into shallow. Behind. And that is going to be an RBI single, as that fell in between Will and Harry into right, as that ball gets dumped into right field. And we're going to have a tie game here at 1-1. So tie game now. Runners at the corners, 2 out. Big swing and a miss. Just short lead by the runner at first. He's not going anywhere. Curveball misses inside. About hit him as he spun and turned his back. Hawkeyes are going to have to play some defense here as they're down 6 with about 2:45 to play. Here's the 1-1 in our game. Big fastball. Jake does another one of those, and which is exactly what he should do. Can minimize the damage here. Popped foul and out of play. So we're going to do 1 and 2 again. Sturt's fired, and that's a big rebound. And the runner's going to take second on a stolen base as that ball misses high and tight to number 8 for the Broncos. So now runners at second and third, 2 outs, 2 balls, 2 strikes. That is popped up behind the plate. Dylan giving chase towards the Fouche dugout. Oh, and it hits the heel of his glove and bounces away. And Fouche is going to stay alive here in this inning. Desperately looking for this third out here in this inning to keep the score tied at 1. Swing and a miss. Gets away from Dylan. Dylan throws down to first. Pete reaches up and makes the catch. And that is going to do it. So the Broncos get 1. They leave 2. And we're going to head to the 4th. Knotted up at 1-1. As my Hawkeyes cut the lead to 4 with exactly 2 minutes to play. I'm going to need another defensive stop here. Oh, can't give up easy layups like that. Sturtz drives, rebound, and they miss a layup and a bunny. Oh. Oh. So it's going to be down 6 here, minute 12 to play. I'm going to call it some sort of ticky-tack foul in the 35 feet away from the basket. Well, DK is going to lead off here for the Chargers, followed by Abbott Moeller and Hayden Gorsett, due up here in the 4th. Illinois shooting 2 here in the double bonus with a minute 12 to play. Up 6. Ball bounces in there to DK. Fouled out of play. As Illinois now has an 8-point lead with 1:12 to play, and they've got a timeout on the floor. Curveball breaks low, and Dylan swings through it, and that's going to be strike number 2 for the catcher. And that's strike 3 on the outside part of the plate, I guess. So Dylan down on strikes on a questionable 3rd strike. All right, it's going to bring up Abbott Moeller. And that is fouled back and out of play. Umpire's going to call time to clean off the plate. It's probably a good thing. I think he's having trouble seeing what's a ball and a strike. Waits on that curveball, but still swings over the top of it. So Abbott has dug himself in an 0-2 hole here. And that should do it for my Hawkeyes as they throw up an air ball. And then I guess don't want to foul. Oof. And here's the 1-2. And that ball about hit him. Evens the count at 2-2. I don't think he should have moved out of the way of that. I think he should just kept his hip in there. He's standing on first right now. Way outside. So Abbott's battled back here. Run the count full. Try to get somebody on ahead of Hayden. There's a line drive into center. That is going to get to the gap, and that's to the fence. Abbott on his horse. He's going to be into third easily. And that is a 1-out triple from Abbott Moeller.
Way to go, Abbott!
And that is going to bring up Hayden Gorsett here. And that is going to do it for my Hawkeyes as well. And it's been a great season by Coach Ben McCullum. A great ride for these guys, but they are down 10 with 37.6 to play. Unless they go full Reggie Miller mode, I don't really see it happening. Hayden looks at a big sweeping curveball for strike 1. Corners are playing in middle infield's at about normal depth. Ooh, that's fouled back. Ground ball in the middle. Should be able to score a run here. Maddox Munson on deck as he runs over to grab that foul ball. Another one fouled back. Let's see if it messed with my camera. Did not. Maddox Munson getting cardio in. Hayden battling here. Still 0-2. Ooh, ball misses inside. So 1-2 here to Hayden. Ball bounces in there. Good stop by the catcher to keep it in front of him. It's a good battle by Hayden. As he's run the count here 2-2, but this is going to be the 7th pitch of the at-bat. Curveball misses outside, so great job by Hayden. And he's at least going to see an 8th pitch.
Nobody better.
And that is a walk. That is a great at-bat by Hayden Gorsett. And that is going to bring up the big dog.
Let's go 3-1. Get ducks on the pond. Let's go.
So that'll bring up Maddox here. And that's going to bring out the coach for a visit. And that is going to do it for my Hawkeyes, whose run is going to end in the Elite Eight by a score of 71-59. I'd like to say congratulations to Illini fans, but I'm not going to do that. Long meeting on the mound. So we're going to have runners on the corners, 1 out. And Maddox Munson coming up. A ball in play should hopefully score a run. Maddox has a little bit of speed and should hopefully be able to beat out any kind of double play attempt. And steps off. Hayden does have his father's speed. Misses inside, and they're just going to give him second. Showing off those Gorsett wheels. And so Max is going to have 2 runners now in scoring position, with only 1 out and ahead here, 1-0. And that is fouled back and out of play. As Will hustles in to grab that foul ball. Max kind of gave up on that curveball as that started at him and broke over the heart of the plate. So Max behind here, 1-2. Got to find a way to put a ball in play here. And that's foul tipped back into the catching glove, and Max is going to be down on strikes. And that is going to bring up Will here.
Give it a ride.
With 2 out. 2 on. And that curveball, nothing but curveballs. Curveball after curveball here. That's a line drive. That's into the gap, and that is going to score 2. That is going to be a double to the wall for Will Fouche. More importantly, that's going to be 2 RBIs, and that is going to give your Sioux Falls Christian Chargers a 3-1 lead. Great job there by Will. A 2 RBI double. And that gives your Chargers a 3-1 lead here in the top of the 4th. And that's going to bring up Brooks as your Chargers are looking to add more. The ball misses away. That's going to get away from the catcher. And Will's going to move up 90 feet. Brooks, who was 0 for 2 for the day, is due. Looking for a hit here. And that ball misses high at his eyes. Tate Connell on deck. Ball bounces in there. So Brooks quickly ahead here, 3-0. Curveball misses high. And it's going to be a 4-pitch walk. And that's going to bring up Tate Connell, who's been on base twice. One hit by pitch and one via the walk. Ball bounces in there. It's a good stop by the catcher as he keeps that ball in front of him. But Brooks moves up 90 feet. And Tate has a couple runners now in scoring position as they look to add to a 3-1 lead. Ball misses high. So 2-0 here to Tate. If Tate finds a way on, Pete Samp is due up next. Ooh, big cut there by Tate as he swings through that fastball on the inside part of the plate. Fouled back and out of play. And that's going to even the count at 2-2. There's a line drive. That is going to be down the right field line, and that is fair, or left field line. That is fair. That'll bring home 2. Tate a ton of speed, and he's going for 3. And that ball, they're going to send him home as the ball gets away. And here's the throw to home, and that's going to be a Tate Connell triple in air. That's a great hustle by Tate Connell. And that is going to make it a 6-1 lead here. It's a good piece of running by Tate Connell, who's got a ton of speed. And we are going to have a pitching change for Bella Fouche as the Chargers kind of have exploded here in the 4th inning. Couple clutch 2-out hits from Will and from Tate. And we will be back with a brand new pitch here for the Broncos. All right, that's going to bring up Pete here. Nobody on for him. But 5 runs have been plated here in the 4th. And Pete looking to keep it going against a new pitcher for Bella Fouche. And the first pitch he sees, ground to the second, and Pete is safe. As a bobble by the second baseman, and Pete hustling down the line, beats it by a step. And that's going to bring up Harry Nichols here.
No, there is If you want to watch slow motion, it's me.
Ball misses outside.
So even when I was playing, I couldn't.
Gonna have a pinch runner. I'm gonna assume that Pete being pinch ran for, Pete will be coming in to relieve Jake Humple on the mound. Because you can really only pinch hit for your catcher or your pitcher. So that move is going to mean that Pete is going to be coming into this game. And Harry going to look at the 1-0 here. That is a long drive. That is fair down the right field line.
Get home!
And that's going to be a stand-up double for Harry as that ball hits off the wall on a long line drive from Harry Nichols. So looking for some clarification here. Umpire's going to have a conversation. I didn't see a call either way from any umpire, whether that was fair or foul. Umpire's having a conversation. I gotta assume it's a fair ball. So, yep, umpires say it's a fair ball. That's a tough one. You got to make a call right away, either way. But either way, that's a good break for us as we put a run number 7 on the board, and DK is going to step in here with another RBI opportunity. Ball misses inside to Dylan. Another ball misses inside. Kind of a 3/4 angle here from the Bella Fouche pitcher. Kind of a unique arm slot that some of these boys haven't seen. That's a long fly ball. That is going back to center field. That's over the center fielder's head. And that is going to be a Dylan going for 3. Here's the throw to third, and that's into the dugout. And that is going to score Dylan on another triple from this team with a throwing error. That ball was hit a mile. And that's going to bring home runs 8 and 9. Coach is coming out to argue about something. I think he's trying to argue about the previous play. About where that ball off the Harry Nichols bat landed. But either way, we've already had another batter come up and put one to the center field wall. I think he's trying to talk about interference and whether or not Coach Gorsett was out of the coaching box. Yeah, that's a good point. Fans behind me. It was not a catchable ball, so there's can't be any interference if something's not catchable. And that's going to bring up Abbott Moeller.
Let's go 2-2.
As your Chargers now lead 9-1, and looking to keep it going here. There's a hard ground ball foul. It's going to even the count here to Abbott at 1-1. Looks at strike 2. Oh, and swings through one, and that is going to be a strikeout. Well, as we'll head to the bottom of the 4th as your Chargers blow open this game and put 8 are plated here in the 4th. And we'll have a pitching change for your Chargers coming up here in the bottom of the 4th inning And we'll have Pete Samp coming out to take the mound. Oh, we will not. All right, so Jake's going to come back out. Huh, that's a weird move. I guess somebody just pitched running for Pete, so maybe he could go get loose a little bit. I did see him warming up down that way. But I think maybe scoring a couple extra runs, maybe changed Coach Gorset's philosophy and to bring Pete in that game and just went with a straight pinch runner. So either way, after a very slow start for your Chargers, fourth inning was a real sigh of relief. 5 hits in the inning, a couple Bella Fouche errors, led to 8 runs being scored. You know, we do have another game after this, so please stay tuned. We'll go to we will take a break and go to a different stream so that the games are separated. For those wondering if we will play, as soon as this game ends, we'll play about 20 minutes after that. Hopefully we can play some more runs between now and then. All right, number 7 is going to step in here for the Broncos. And Jake rocks and fires, and that one is fouled back and out of play. Here's the 0-1. Ooh, Jake misses badly with that one. Now, Jake had been sitting for a long time while your Chargers put up a bunch of runs in the fourth. So here's the 2-1. And that ball missed on the outside part of the plate. So 3-1 now to the leadoff hitter for the Broncos. Oh, fouled straight back. It's going to run the count here full. I was wondering about my current snack choice. I am eating salt and pepper pistachios, which are delicious. So if you hear a little crunch, that's what it is. That's a curveball, and Jake's going to ring him up. That's a great way to battle back for Jake. And that is the first out of the bottom half of the fourth. Lefty's going to step in here. Could not see his number. And that is a fly ball that going back on his Tate, and that's over his head as he came in and then had to go back on it. That is going to be to the fence. And that is a great job by Jake to back up that play and stop him from going in the dugout. But that is going to be a triple. And I think you're going to get a visit from Coach Connor as he's hanging out outside the dugout here. Oh, no visit. Just wanted to come out and have a conversation. So, runner on third, 1 out. Number 10 steps in here for Bella Fouche. And Jake paints the outside portion of the plate with strike 1. Ooh, good stop by Dylan. That ball missed badly inside. And that's strike 2.
0-2.
Count here 1-2. That ball misses outside. It's going to even the count at 2-2 here. Jake trying to keep a runner at third here. Strikeout would be ideal. Ooh, fouled at the Fouche dugout. And all right, well, we're going to do. There's a curveball chopped at Hayden. Looks the runner back, fires over to Pete. And that is a great job by Hayden Gorsett. That's a little thing that's going to go unnoticed, but he grabbed the ball, gloved it, paused the runner at third, and then fired over to Pete. Pete grabbed it and then charged in case the runner thought about running. That's just really good defense there. And there is a ball over to Brooks. Rocks fires in the dirt, gloved by Pete, and he is out at first. And that is a great job by Pete Samp at first base. A great defensive half of the inning for your Chargers as we'll head to the fifth, still leading 9-1. All right, we're going to have Hayden Gorsett leading off here in the top half of the 5th. And it looks like Jake Humpel is going to come in and hit for Maddox Munson. Seems like an excessive amount of warm-up pitches for this inning, but either way, we'll get the top of the 5th going here. With Hayden, Jake, and Will due up. Ball misses outside. Ooh, ball about hit him as Hayden dances out of the way. Hayden, who had a great at bat in his last at bat to draw a walk, and that kind of opened the floodgates last inning for your Chargers. Quickly ahead here, 2-0. Another ball bounces in there. So Hayden ahead here, 3-0. Ball misses outside, so that's a 4-pitch walk to Hayden Gorsett to lead off the 5th. And that's going to bring Jake's going to come in now. And we're going to have a pinch runner here for Hayden Gorsett. All right, well, Jake's going to swing for the first time this game. Had a good day yesterday. Had a good day on the mound so far today. We'll see if he comes back out for another inning. Ball misses inside and about hits Jake as he dances out of the way. Runner goes. There's a strike, and he is in there safe. As the throw is to the shortstop side of second base, and had to come back and try and tag the runner. Jake ahead here, 2-1. Jackson McCulley pinch running down at second. Bounces up and gets away from the catcher. Doesn't know where it is. As Jackson's going to move up 90 feet, and we're going to have a runner on third. Better yet, Jake is going to have a 3-1 count to work with here. Back-to-back walks here to lead off the 5th inning. And that's going to bring out the Bronx coach for a visit. And it looks like the center fielder is going to come in and pitch, and that is going to be the day for number 8 for the Broncos. So we will be back as your Chargers lead 9-1. have runners on the corners with nobody out here in the 5th. And Will Fouche coming up, who tripled. No, he doubled in his last at bat, but he did drive in 2. So we'll be back in a few. All right, Fouche is going to go to a lefty here, number 11, as he comes in from center field, and he is going to inherit runners on the corners. Nobody out. All right, Will's going to step in here looking for more RBIs today. Jake Humple down at first. Jackson McCulley pinch running down at third. There's a throw over. Jake back easily. Will swings through that one and looks at strike 1. Jake goes. Will takes the strike. Cut. Throw coming home. And he is going to be out at home as they tried the Little League steal. And he is thrown out at home. That ball's going to get away. Big turn there by Jake on that wild pitch. So Jake moves up 90 feet. He's going to be at third. 1 out still. 1-2 count here to Will. And infield playing in, trying to cut down another run at home. That ball sails, and that's going to bring in Jake Humple as that goes to the backstop. And that's going to extend your Chargers lead to 10-1. Would really be ideal to put up another one this inning. And we got the top of the order coming up. Looks like we will have a pinch hitter for Brooks Clapp, and that's going to be Trey Pater as Will goes down swinging. So 2 out. Trey pinch hitting for Brooks. Lefty on lefty matchup. And that ball bounces in there for ball 1. Tate Connell on deck. And that ball, another one to the backstop. So Trey ahead here 2-0. Sioux Falls Christian, Rapid City Christian to follow this one. And that ball, not even close. And Trey ahead here 3-0. I can't even imagine he's even thinking about swinging at this pitch. And that ball goes about 55 feet and bounces over the plate. Unfortunately, that does not count as a strike. And that's a 4-pitch walk to Trey Pater. They'll bring up Tate Connell, who hammered the ball to dead center for a triple. Came home to score on a throwing error. And there's a line drive. That's down the line. And that is going to be a hard hit single for Tate Connell. And his second straight hit. And that's going to bring up Pete Samp's going to stay in here and hit. First and second. Ball misses outside to Pete. Ball 2 to Pete. So Pete quickly ahead here 2-0. And looks like we will have a Zach Vandehar is going to pinch hit for Harry Nichols. That ball is going to get away. And you're going to have Trey and Tate each move up 90 feet. And Pete looking at a 3-0 count here. That's a walk to Pete as that ball bounces in there. And that's going to bring up Zach here with the bases juiced. And that is going to bring out a mound visit. As number 11 is unable to find anything resembling any part of the plate. So we'll have another pitching change, and we'll be back with your Chargers leading 10-1. Bases loaded, and Zach Vandehar coming up. All right, new pitcher for the Broncos, number 23. Pinch hitter for your Chargers, Zach Vandehar. He's going to come up with the bases loaded. That ball misses. That's a great stop by the catcher as he comes up out of his crouch to make that catch. That ball was coming for the back fence area near me. There's a swing and a miss. And evens the count at 1-1. That's another one that brings the catcher up and out of his crouch. He's probably saved a couple runs in this at bat already. And the 2-1 here to Zach. That's going to get to the backstop. That's off the pole, and that's going to bring in Trey Pater, who hustles in. And that is going to add another run to the board. And that's going to be 11-1. And Zach here is in a 3-1 count with DK on deck. Zach looks at a ball high, and that's going to be a walk. And Dylan's going to take off his shin guards and come in here. All right, so DK looking for some more RBIs. Oh, DK is not happy as Dylan gets late change there by Coach Gorsett, and that's going to bring Liam's going to come in and hit for DK, and Liam looks at ball one. And that's ball two to Liam. Not even sure if Liam was even mentally prepared to hit. I think he was sitting on the bench and Coach Gorsett called him up to go hit. And that ball misses high. Not a lot of strikes in this inning so far.
All right, one, give it a ride.
And that paints the inside part of the plate for strike one. Nobody's on the on-deck circle, so I don't know who's hitting if Liam's able to find his way on, but the count is now full here at 3-2. 2 out, bases loaded, nowhere to put Liam. And that ball misses inside. And that is going to be run number 12. And let's see, number 6. Coach Gorsett did this to me last night. I do not have a name on his. All right, Zach Lefevre is going to come in and hit. C. Lefevre is going to come in and hit, I guess. This strike one called as we're trying to sort out pronunciations and who's actually batting. Ball misses high. Chargers leading 12-1. Ball misses high. 2-1. Ball bounces in there. Good stop by the catcher. And Zach here looking for an RBI. Walker hit. with a 3-1 count. Zach looks at strike 2. So full count here. 2 out, bases loaded. Z Laffy. And that ball about hits him, and that's going to be a walk. All right, let's see who we got coming out of the dugout now. Looks like we're going to have Jackson McCulley coming in to hit. Hope Coach Gorset's keeping track of all these. Well, Jackson's dad has left the bleachers, not wanting to watch him hit for some reason. Didn't miss much except the ball so far. Hopefully Phil is watching this as he hits the restroom. Ball misses inside, about hit Jackson. Bench yelling for him to wear it. The only person on that bench that can yell that is Tate Connell. And that ball misses outside. Well, 3-0 here. And Jackson's going to take a walk. All right, Jake Humple's going to come up and hit. And that's going to bring a visit from the coach. Can't log on to Game Change right now, but I mean, there has been a ton of walks this inning. So your Chargers leading 14-1. Bases loaded. Jake Humple coming up. And it's been a long time since I've seen a strike. I have my crack research team let me know that 8 walks so far this inning, and Jake looks at ball 1.
Go home.
Jake looking to help out himself as he's the pitcher of record, and he looks at a curveball for strike 1. Kind of bailed out early on that one. And that is another curveball in there, and that is Jake quickly behind here, 1-2 after back-to-back curveballs. And you had to feel, you had to know a third one was coming, and that he fouls that one off as he waits on that. There's a fly ball to the right fielder, comes in, and he's going to make the catch. And that is going to end the 5th inning. But your Chargers add 5 and lead 14-1 as we head to the bottom half of the 5th inning. All right, we got a new pitcher on the mound, and his name is Hayden Gorsett. As he's going to come in and face number 1 for the Fouche Broncos.
Way to go, Hayden!
And that's the Hayden Gorsett split finger fastball that just falls off a cliff. In there for strike number 1. As Hayden relieves Jake Humple. And that ball goes to the backstop. It's going to even the count at 1-1. Ball misses outside. A lot of defensive changes, and I'm not going to try and figure out who's where. I think Will's at third. There's a line drive up the middle. Glove diving for it is Brooks, and he makes the catch.
Nice grab!
That's a great play by Brooks Clapp, coming in, diving, and making that catch. All right, so one quick out here for Hayden, making his first appearance of the year. Ball misses high. Ooh, Hayden bounced one in there. I'm going to give him 57 feet on that ball. Great night out here in Rapid City. Hey, mid-60s, no wind. And Hayden Gorsett fires for ball 3. So Hayden behind here, 3-0. Paints the outside part of the plate, and Roxon fires for strike 1. A couple more of those would be appreciated. If this score holds, that is, just missed inside. If this score holds, we will be done here after the 5th via the 10-run rule. Probably even give up a couple, but prefer not to. As number 12 is going to stop in for the Broncos. Still eating my salt and pepper pistachios by Wonderful, and they are wonderful. Runner goes. Good throw by Dylan, and it gets away. Rolls into center field, but the runner unable to advance. And that is going to be ball 1. So 1-0 count now. Runner on second. And that's in there for strike 1. There's a curveball in there for Hayden. Or strike 2. So 1-2, 1 out. Runner on second. Chargers need a couple outs to end this game. Oh, check swing. Ball gets away from Dylan. Dylan fires down, and that's a great throw by DK. and runner just beat him in there. And I believe that was called a ball. So it's a 2-2 count. Runner on third. Chargers will gladly take it out, give up a run for an out. Hayden paints it, and that is strike 3, and that is 2 outs here in the 5th. It's going to bring up number 23. He ended on the mound the top half of this inning. He was the third pitcher to come in for Fouche in the top half of the 5th. Hayden rocks and fires, just missed inside. Weak fly ball. Coming in is Abbott and makes the catch. And that'll do it, as your Sioux Falls Christian Chargers are going to win this one by a score of 14-1. Remember, we are back right away with another game here in about 20 minutes against Rapid City Christian. So, going to end the feed and stay tuned, but we will be back with game number 2